situation where the team's was on a downer, but now it's on a higher because you've got Gruden coming in. You've got
he was a first round pick in 2014, actually. So
yeah, exactly. So he can't be he's no joke, is he? He's a decent player, but he's just not been productive. But he had a productive year.
Yeah, he had a very productive year. So he peaked at the right time. So he would not be a bad fit.
If he continues to excel, I'm all for it. It's all about bringing in players who are going to improve the team. If he improves the team, then you've got to do it. The Raiders in this free agency and the draft have to literally cut people if they feel they don't suit the Raiders anymore. They don't think that they're good enough, and they have to get people in who are going to cut it above the rest.
So we're restructuring Sean Smith. That could be an issue thing, and I think we probably go a cornerback high as well in the draft.
I mean, I've looked at Denzel Ward, Joshua Jackson. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick is an interesting one because some outlets list him as a corner, some outlets list him as a safety. But for me, I think he is a safety. But with Obi slipping to corner, I don't think that is his position. But if the Raiders do decide to put him permanently at corner, Fitzpatrick would definitely be a brilliant pickup in the first round.
Fitzpatrick could also be a big nickel, like playing the hybrid safety cornerback role. With he can be the slot corner, and when it's a base down, he can play a hybrid role and take out the third linebacker and put him in because he's
a very explosive corner. Very explosive corner.
He's fast. He's very smart as well. I read an article earlier today. Nick Saban saying that's his favorite player because of how much he cares. He was shown. There's a story that he was really upset on the sideline, and somebody asked him. I think the running back asked him what's wrong. He said he missed an assignment, and he was really ticked off about it. And that was when they were up by 40 points.
That
so it shows.
But don't forget that the new defensive coach was his coach at Alabama.
Yeah, so if he falls, I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I be upset if we took him.
No, I mean, that is an area of need, really. I mean, like, we've got Kyle Joseph, Obi. Why not add that extra person? Get rid of Reggie Nelson. That's another player we haven't touched on.
Well, his contract is up, so he just won't be re-signed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we need a safety.
Yeah, he can play safety. He can come in and play slot, play the nickel corner. He would be
he's versatile.
Yeah. And we can even go in the first round, Denzel Ward. He's very quick. They're saying he runs with the 4.3s as well, so that's very fast.
That's what we need to add. We need to add speed.
Mm-hmm.
We need to add speed and people who can locate danger quickly. Because there's too many times the ball's thrown and people are just watching and just thinking, oh, hang on a minute, the ball's going to be caught and,
Yeah, my heart stopped every time they threw a deep ball against it because we didn't have speed in the back end.
We haven't got that speed to catch up. I mean, Obi's quick, but he's not a corner for me. I think he's a definite.
He's a strong safety.
I think he's a free safety personally.
Well, he played both in college, but he played a lot of strong safety as well. And the only reason I would put him in strong safety is because Carl Joseph is just too small to be in the box. If you put him up top, he might.
I think that Carl Joseph is a versatile enough player, though, to play either. And, I think that, to be honest with you, they could both play both.
And you can look at the matchup and intertwine.
Yeah, interchanging positions. And that really creates havoc for the opposition's offense as well, because they're wondering who's going to play where. It can upset their rhythm as well.
Hey, we spoke about Cook in the tight end group. We missed Walford. You want to talk about Walford for a couple of minutes?
I mean, he's another interesting one. Didn't even really see the field a lot last year at all, really.
Yeah.
Would he be a major loss? Probably not.
But for 1.9 mil?
Yeah, 1.9 million in cap space. The downfall is obviously around 200,000 in dead money, but that's not really a lot. When you take into consideration overall, you'd be saving 1.7 million.
I think he might be, if he is cut. I think John Gruden would want to see, because he loves pass catching tight ends. He would want to see.
Yeah,
he would want to see him in training camp.
Yeah, the only good thing about Wolford is he is arguably the best catching tight end that we have. Obviously, Jared Cook is number one, but other than Cook, Wolford is, say second best.
Right.
But is Wolford really good at blocking?
He is horrible.
Exactly. That's the problem. Is you got to have a tight end that can do multiple jobs.
Right.
Lee Smith is another one. He's definitely getting cut because he doesn't offer anything apart from blocking.
Right. He hasn't done that too well in the blocking department past year. He committed a lot of penalties as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to, with these players, it's all about versatility and
yes.
Can they perform multiple tasks? Because Gruden is all about, players who can perform multiple things. Different style of players creating different style of plays. Obviously, we talked about the no huddle. So, yeah, I can't see Wolford being cut straight away. Right. But I think he could potentially be a casualty.
Right, I could see him being cut after if we have a late round draft pick that does,
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy, who does he play for? There's a guy that always pops up on my draft board whenever I'm picking in like round 6. Goolsby, I think his name is.
Okay.
He could potentially be a late pick for us, or there's other options. Obviously, we won't go too much into detail about that. We can do that at another time. But there's defo options in that department in the draft.
Do we keep Patterson and Seth Roberts, or do we cut him, or are they fighting for a position in training camp?
Seth Roberts was a Jack Del Rio guy for me.
He liked the tough guys, but didn't really, didn't have the skills.
Seth Roberts just doesn't cut it. No. It's as simple as that. He doesn't cut it as a wide receiver for the Raiders. It's not even a debate, really, is it? You look at his stats. You look at what he offers realistically.
We only take
downfall is his dead money cap is 2 mil.
I mean, we're still saving 2.4. I think we walk away.
I think we do cut him. But as I said, I think that he was a Jack Del Rio guy.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I think in that department as well, we can do better. Like Crabtree as well, that we spoke about previously. I think that Roberts is another guy who I think his time is
up. Yeah.
Up. Yeah.
Cordero. Yeah. Go ahead.
Patterson. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out.
No.
Patterson for me, he's a really tough choice. I see him being cut just due to his the cap space we'd save, 3.2 million, with 0 in dead money. But I highly rate him. I think that we didn't utilise him enough. We had Jalen Richard returning balls. I mean, I will never ever get that when you've got someone like Patterson who can return the ball for a touchdown. But it just falls down to money. It's a money game. If the money's right.
He's also been an asset as a gunner.
Yeah.
So I think he does offer some, even for 3.25 million, which isn't much these days. You get him to return punts and be a gunner, and if he can learn to return punts as well and be a gadget player in the offense, he could be wide receiver 4.
He was used sometimes as a running back as well.
Exactly.
And if you've got a player like that, he can do multiple things. As I said before, Gruden loves these sort of players. He loves the players that can perform multiple tasks and add extra dimensions to his offense. he wasn't used enough for me by Del Rio and whoever, and Todd Downing, obviously, who was calling the plays.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you have a player like him, yes, you have to bear in mind his job role. His main title is obviously a returner. But if you can have him as a wide receiver, you can have him as a running back, that's only going to be good, because the other teams will think, oh, hang on a minute, he's, our wide receiver, 1 minute he's there, next minute he's as a running back.
Right.
It creates havoc for them because they don't really know what's going on. They can run schemes that might fit our offense.
Yeah, I just didn't think they knew how to use that kind of talent.
No, but that all stems down to the head coach, the coaching,
right,
the coordinating. If that isn't right and you have a player like that, then I feel sorry for him because I actually thought when he was used, he was very good. I think that he returned, he ran for a couple of touchdowns, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, come on, he's mainly like a wide receiver and a return specialist. And he's running the ball as a running back, Yeah,
I blame it on Rio, man. Let's see, who do we have? So we'll keep him. Who did we talk about? Oh, big one. Bruce Irvin.
He's really tough because I really like Irvin. I've always liked him ever since he joined. But it falls down to the money again.
And it falls down to replacement value, don't forget. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, second half of the season, excellent production. First half of the season, really, really poor.
It also shows you what a coaching change does, right?
Yeah.
And exactly. That all happened after Ken Norton Jr. was fired.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get a different coaching, you get a new feel, you get a new buzz. You get players who 1 minute are feeling down, feeling sorry for themselves, and then they have a new lease of life. I think Irvin thrived off of a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be kept purely on the fact that he can be really, really productive. And whether or not he has to take a cut, whether he would like to or not, I mean, obviously,
they might restructure to for some caps for saving some cap space. So,
and I can see him being a good teammate as well. I think he likes it where he is. I think he's formed a really good bond with Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
I think that if the money's right, he'll stay.
And he's not a free agent, so he's just it's the Raiders with the option, and I think he stays.
Exactly. I think he stays. I think he stays personally based on his production,
right,
over the second half of the season, based on his relationship with the Raiders, his relationship with his teammates. You can see it when he's on the field. He's got a good relationship with his teammates.
And also in the beginning of the year, even though his pass rushing wasn't that great, he still had really good grades per PFF in the run defense department. So he was still, doing his thing. In
whatever way you look at it, he adds something to the team, and that's what it's all about. Does this player make a difference? And he does make a difference. I mean, over the second half of the year, we brought in Navarro Bowman as well, didn't we? And I thought him, Irvin and Mack were excellent. I thought they were really brilliant towards the end of the year. But the problem is our secondary was so weak and our offense wasn't firing that our team just wasn't up to the required level.
I'll put it more on the coaching just because the plays they were calling and defensive play calling was absolutely horrid. So.
Oh, it was abysmal.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I stayed up. I mean, because obviously the time difference over here, I didn't miss a game. At times, I was up till like 6 o'clock in the morning watching all the games. And the year before, I did the same.
Yeah,
I was obviously happy most of the time. But this year, the morning after, I was miserable every morning just because the performance. It's not so much the losing.